Hi everyone, now we are going to discuss about birds. Okay, characteristics of birds or aves. Okay, if you observe the special characteristics of birds, actually T.H. Huxley, one scientist is there, he described that birds are glorified. Okay, glorified reptiles he told. Okay, why he can call glorified reptiles? T.H. Huxley. He described that birds are glorified reptiles. Why? Because these are coming from reptiles only. So that some of the features of birds are having like reptiles. So that okay, it is a connect what like reptiles are developed. He thought that birds are developed reptiles. Okay, developed reptiles. So that okay, he called what glorified reptiles. Okay, T.H. Huxley. What are the other characteristics of birds? Birds, first of all. Okay, birds are up to now whatever we learnt all are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals, amphibian cold-blooded animals, reptile cold-blooded animals. Bird, whatever fishes are fishes, amphibians, reptiles are cold-blooded animal, phycalothermic. These are aves in mammals. Birds in mammals are warm-blooded animal. That is also special characteristics of birds. Okay, in that some are flight, some are what non-flying birds is there. Okay, two types of ratite and carinate. Two types of birds. Some are flying, some are non-flying. Okay, two types of birds is that is also special feature of what birds. Okay, here some other characteristics of birds. Okay, study about birds. What we call okay one. Ornithology. What is the meaning of ornithology? Study about various types of birds, which are ratite, carinate, flying and non-flying birds. Studying about all types of birds we can call ornithology. And okay, already I am told T.H. Huxley, the scientist name is Huxley. He called birds are glorified reptiles. What will he call? Glorified reptiles. Okay, already we learned. Okay, warm-blooded animals. Birds are warm-blooded animals. So what is the meaning of warm-blooded animal? Warm-blooded animals mean what? Hemothermic. That means that inside the blood, in blood, okay, that means in body, temperature is constant. It not losing their temperature. The body temperature is not losing. For example, cold-blooded animals, temperature if based on atmospheric temperature, their body temperature is what it is changing, but in warm-blooded animal the body temperature is constant. Okay, so that these are warm-blooded animals. Okay, and especially birds, we know very well about that. Birds, all birds are oviparous. Oviparous means what? Which laying eggs is called oviparous animals. And also already we are discussing about tetrapods, but these are walking with biped. What is the meaning of bipedal? Bipedal means what? It is walking with two legs. Bipedal. Okay, we are also bipedal. It is walking with two legs, but these are also tetrapods. The forelimbs are modified to feathers. Modified like feathers. So that what will be happen? These are bipedal. What is the meaning of bipedal? Bipedal means what? Walk with two legs. Okay, these animals are walk with, these birds are walk with two legs. That's why we can call bipedal. So that okay, warm-blooded animal, oviparous, and okay, and bipedal, and also the body shape is very important to the birds. Why? Because the body shape is very important to the birds. Which shape is there? What is the use of body shape to the birds? That is important. Actually, bird's body shape is boat structure. Boat shaped structure is there. Okay, boat shaped structure, the middle part is little bit wider and anterior, and posterior part is what? Little bit. Okay, for example, if you observe, the anterior is little bit narrower, posterior also narrower. The middle part is what? Okay, little bit wider, like a boat shape. Boat shape. That shape is useful for easy to fly. Very, very important. Especially shape of the body and feathers are useful to fly. Okay, this what the shape of the birds are very important. Why? Because the boat shape is there. The anterior posterior parts are what narrow and the middle part little bit wider. It is easy to fly in an air. Okay, that is a special feature of what birds. And the body divided into what, especially for head, okay, neck. Okay, so that the body divided into head, neck, trunk, and tail. Okay, the body divided into four parts. Okay, head, neck, trunk, and tail. Okay, head, trunk, tail. Okay, there are four body divided into four parts. Okay, and four limbs are modified into through wings. Okay, four limbs are modified, which is useful for flight. Okay, especially for the one more important thing in birds. This is sternum. Birds also having sternum. In sternum, okay, one bone is there. That is a sternum open into keel bone. Through with keel bone, the wings are attached with keel bone. Okay, at the region of sternum, okay, this region, keel bone is there. The whatever muscles is there, muscles are attached with what? Keel. Very, very important. The muscles are attached with what? Keel. Approximately 175 muscles is there in that birds. Okay, various types of birds. These muscles are located at wings. Most of the muscles are located in flight. Okay, especially for which are useful for flight power. Okay, especially for muscles is there in that birds. Okay, these are useful for what? Especially these muscles are located in wings and legs, and also what? Especially in body, little bit in body. Okay, more than 175 muscles is there in your body. Okay, these muscles, especially for flight muscles, are three types, which are powered flight muscle, which is useful for flight, which is useful for wings, are useful for flight. Why? Because these are having what? Muscles. The wings are covered with what? Muscles. That muscles are useful for flying. Okay, what are the types of muscles is there? Pectoral muscles, which are what? Especially useful to fly. Which are powered muscles, which are useful for what? Especially for to move the wings. Pectoral muscles. Okay, pectoralis minor and major. Pectoralis minor, pectoralis major. These muscles are useful compared with other muscles. These muscles are what? Especially for mostly useful to flight, to move the wings. Okay, which are pectoral muscles. Pectoralis minor, pectoralis major. These whatever pectoralis muscles minor and pectoralis major useful for movement. In a bird, flight muscles are three types is there. Already we are called pectoral muscles, accessory muscles, and tensor muscles. These are the three types of muscles is there in a bird which are useful for flight. Okay, nothing but we can call flight muscles. What are they? Pectoral muscles, accessory muscles, and tensor muscles. Here in pectoralis muscles are pectoralis minor and pectoralis major. And pectoralis major we can call, that is powerful flight muscles, which are called powerful, which are useful for more, which are useful for flight. Powerful flight muscles we can call pectoralis major. Very, very important. Pectoralis major we can call powerful flight muscles. And pectoralis minor also. Okay, major we can call powerful flight muscles. And other muscles are accessory muscles, which gives support to the pectoralis muscles. Accessory muscles and tensor muscles. Okay, these accessory muscles and tensor muscles both are giving support to the pectoral muscles. Accessory muscles are coracobranchioles and coracobranchiolis brevis. The names of the muscles. Okay, tensor muscles are tensor longus, tensor brevis, and tensor accessoris. Okay, three types of tensor muscles is there. Anyway, these muscles, the three types of muscles useful for flight. Nothing but we can call flight muscles. In a bird, approximately 175 muscles is there. These muscles are located in various regions, especially most of the muscles are located in wings and remaining in body and legs also located muscles. The muscles are useful for moving of wings, moving. Okay, so that powerful muscles is there to move the fly. Okay, and next one is what? Hind limbs. What about the hind limbs of the birds? Already I am told bipedal. Okay, bipedal means what? It is walking with two legs. It is walking with two legs, bipedal. Here, two limbs is there, and each limb having what? Four claws. Four claw. Okay, each four claws. And also these very important. Whatever four limbs is there, the four limbs are covered with what? Scales. Whatever legs is there in a total body, if you observe the body of the bird, total body is covering with what? Feathers, except legs. Legs is covered with scales. That is the characteristics of what? Reptile. Reptiles are body covered with scales, scutes. Here also bird legs are covered with what? Scales. That is the characteristics of what? Reptile. And also what? Epidermal exoskeleton system. Pura body, whatever body is the body, total body is covered with feathers, exoskeleton system, except legs. Legs are covered with what? Scales. That is the characteristics of reptile. And okay, what is the use of hind limbs? Generally, hind limbs are useful for walking, and even swimming also it is useful for swimming, and also useful for to catch something, perching. Okay, that is the advantage of what? Hind limbs. After that one, what about the skin? Okay, skin, if you observe the skin of the, especially for birds, the skin do not, it lack of glands. Okay, just imagine what bird skin, it lack of glands, do not have any glands, but except one gland is there on the skin, surface of the skin, that is oil gland, cutaneous oil glands, producing little bit oil. Cutaneous oil gland, and tail region, one more gland is there, very very important gland. That gland we can call urophyseal. Uro means last. Okay, urophyseal gland are nothing but fin gland, very very important. At the tail region, in most of the bird, one gland is there. At tail region, where does what? Tail. Okay, urophyseal region, urophyseal gland is there. Nothing but we can call fin gland. This fin gland is present in all birds except in parrot and ostrich. This fin gland is absent. Fin gland or urophyseal gland is absent in parrot and ostrich. In ostrich and parrot, this fin gland is absent. Remaining glands, fin gland is located in all birds at the tail region. Okay, and next one is what? The skull is monocondylic. Monocondylic means one. Okay, it is having only one occipital. Only having one occipital bone in a skull. Skull is a monocondylic. Monocondylic skull, only one occipital bone. And then very very important, birds' bones are pneumatic bones. We can call pneumatic bones. That is a special feature of birds. Why? Because this is the special feature of birds. Most of the birds are flying. Some are non-flying birds also is there. Difference between them. Non-flying birds and flying birds. Now, most of the birds which are flying birds having what? Pneumatic bones. What is pneumatic bones? The bones are filled with air without bone marrow. Bone marrow. Inside the bones, bone marrow is absent. What is present? Air filled. so that the birds are, the weight is very less. These pneumatic bones are useful for, it keep the body weight of the bird very less, so that birds are easily flying. Why? Because themselves having what? Pneumatic bones. We cannot fly. If you attach long wings also, we cannot fly. It's not possible to fly. Why? Because our bones are filled with bone marrow. But birds' bones are not filled with bone marrow. It is filled with air, so that they are easily flying. Okay, so that type of bones we can call pneumatic bones. Air filled. It keeps the body weight very less. Okay, and very important. And sternum, already I am told what sternum is very large. Whatever breast bones is there in birds, breast bones are very wide, and keel bone is attached with muscles. Okay, in the sternum region, keel bone is attached. And one more important, clavicle bones, especially in breast region, two clavicle bones. Okay, human beings also having clavicle, but not V-shaped clavicle. At the breast region, the two bones is the clavicle bones are, one is clavicle, interclavicle. Both are attached and form V-shaped structure. That is nothing but wishbone. In Latin, we can use the word furcula, fork, small fork, which is useful for eating like this. Chinese are using fork, small fork, something used for eating. Okay, here also in the chest region, one wishbone is there, V-shaped bone, wishbone, very important, Okay, two clavicles are combined and form, fused and form one bone we can call clavicle. That bone we can call, and also called wishbone, or we can call furcula, Latin word. Furcula is a Latin word. Furcula means what? Generally in a Latin, furcula means what? Fork, small fork, which is useful. Okay, here in chest region, which is the bones are, clavicle bones are attached like this. In chesticle region, we are observed V-shaped bone, Okay, so that is the we can call wishbone or furcula. Furcula means what? Small fork, Latin word. Okay. Anyway, it is absent in flightless bird. Very important. Okay, clavicle or about wishbone or furcula. Okay, absent in flightless birds, which are non-flying birds. Flightless birds, furcula is absent. Very important. Very important one. Neat. Okay, furcula. Other name of furcula we can call wishbone. Okay, try to remember wishbone or furcula. Okay, which is V-shaped structure. And eyes are bird eye. If you observe, the bird eyes are very powerful. In some birds, within some kilometers, there are observed whatever is there in down. Especially for some eagle and some owl, some type of predators. Okay, their eyes are well developed eyes, powerful eyes. In that eyes, one plate is there, black color plate. Okay, in bird eyes. That is we can call pecten, what we call pecten. Okay, in powerful, in a bird eye, one black color plate is there, black color plate in your bird eye. That plate, especially for, okay, that plate, it is we can call pecten. These pecten provide nutrition. Whatever pecten is there in a bird eye, okay, or nictitating membrane is there, nictitating membrane and sclerotic ossicles and pecten, well powerful eyes and very active eyes. Okay, and also most of the bird eyes are, okay, biconcave. That means they will two eyes are, it is, okay, it is seeing one object. It is moving to okay, most of the both eyes are seeing one object, and some are mono means what? Mono, especially for concave, it observes what this eye observes this side, and that eye observes that side. but most of the birds are concentrating or seeing one object by concave, especially for that type of eyes are more powerful eyes in that having. Okay, anyway, okay, and especially for nictitating membrane, sclerotic ossicle, pectin is there. Pectin provide nutrition to the eyeball, whatever eyeball it provide the nutrition, and and whatever elementary canal means what? Digestive system of the birds. Digestive system of the birds, we are observed two organs, one is crop and gizzard. Crop, in the elementary canal, one part is there, crop. The crop is useful for soften the food, and gizzard is there. The gizzard, it is useful for crushing the food. It is crushing means it is cutting into small pieces. It crushing the food, it soften the food. Which of gizzard? In some birds' gizzard, it store what? Stones also. It cutting the small stones also, cutting down small stones also. What is that one? Gizzard. Gizzard is useful for cutting and soften the food. Crop is also storing and soften the food. Okay. Crop is useful for store and soften the food. A gizzard is useful for, in elementary canal, gizzard is useful for crushing and soften the food. And some of the birds, it is useful to store what? Stones also. To crush the stones also. Okay. And gallbladder is absent. In these birds, gallbladder is absent. And respiratory system, especially for useful for lungs, are useful as a respiratory organs. Double respiration. Lungs are useful for respiratory organs. Very, very important in a bird. One more point. Syrinx. In a trachea, edge of the trachea, one more part. Larynx, our sound producer organ. Our means human larynx. In a bird, syrinx is a sound producing organ. Sound box. Very, very important. Sound producing organ in a bird we can call syrinx. Okay, that is nothing but we can call sound producing organ. Sound producing organ we can call syrinx. And some special character. Heart is divided into 4 chambers like human beings. 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Okay, 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Especially for heart is divided into 4 chambers. Here saying double circulatory system. Closed circulatory system and double circulatory system. Oxygenated blood is supplies one side, deoxygenated blood is supplies the other side, so that heart is divided into 4 chambers. And these are uricotelic organisms. What is uricotelic organisms? Means what? Their excretory material is uric acid. Their excretory material is uric acid. So that we can call uricotelic organisms. Birds' excretory material is uric acid, so that we can call uricotelic organisms. Urinary bladder is absent in birds. Urinary bladder is absent in birds. Uric acid, just like a solid, semi-solid, is releasing semi-solid material. Semi-solid, it is not a solid, little bit liquid and solid. Semi-solid material, nothing but we can call uric acid crystals. Some small stones, uric acid crystals. So that we can call uricotelic organisms. Very, very important. Birds are uricotelic organisms. Their excretory material is uric acid. That uric acid is like semi-solid material. That nothing but uric acid crystals, small crystals. Okay. And the Rhea americana, flightless bird is there, which is that the name is Rhea americana, polygamy. Especially Rhea americana, urinary bladder is especially present. Remaining urinary bladder is absent. All birds urinary bladder is absent except Rhea americana, which is flightless bird. That in that urinary bladder is present. That is very, very important question. Birds' excretory material is uric acid. Uric acid is a semi-solid material, like we can call uric acid crystals. Okay. in urinary bladder is absent in a birds, but except Rhea americana having urinary bladder. And one more important thing, marine birds which are living in marine birds excretory material is guanine. Very, very important. Guanine is also nitrogen substance, one of the excretory material, that is a guanine, we can call guanine. That birds we can call guano. Which birds excretory material is guanine? That birds are called guano. Okay, this is also very, very important points whatever we are discussing. Okay, next one, the cranial nerves. How many cranial nerves is there? Total 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, 12 pairs of cranial nerves. And they are showing sexual dimorphism. Male and female is separate. Okay, sexual dimorphism. Male and female is separate. And male one, copulatory organ is absent in male one. In male, copulatory organ is absent. Lack of copulatory organ in birds, except ratite, except geese, except ducks. In ducks, geese, copulatory male reproductive organ is present. Remaining male reproductive organ is absent. Okay, they are showing sexual dimorphism. And female one more important thing, the female one, especially for having single left ovary. Okay, having doubt, especially for in female reproductive, human being, female reproductive system having 2 ovaries. But here having only in birds, female having single left ovary. Right ovary is absent. Only one ovary, that is left ovary. Okay, try to remember these are the very important words. Okay, female single left ovary. Copulatory organ is absent except geese and ducks. Okay, and especially for what about the eggs of the bird? Already we learned birds are oviparous. In birds, especially for telolecital, the eggs are telolecital, large yolk. What is the meaning of yolk? The yellow color, whatever we are seeing inside the egg, yellow color spot. Okay, that is yolk. We can call here the bird's eggs are telolecital. What is the meaning of telolecital? In egg, okay, the yolk is more large yolk, so that we can call telolecital eggs. And cleidoic eggs, and also called cleidoid. And what is the meaning of cleidoid? The egg is covered with what? Shell. Egg is covered with shell. Protective layer. Egg is covered with what? Shell. Protective layer. Okay, so that we can call cleidoic eggs. Cleidoic eggs. And amniotic eggs. Amniotic eggs means what? The egg is covered with what? Embryonic membranes. Amnion, yolk, what membrane? It is covered with what? All types of membranes. Okay, egg is covered with what? Membrane, which is a protective layers, protective membrane, embryonic membranes. Amniotic eggs, we can call egg is covered with what? Embryonic membranes. Okay, very important. And what about the fertilization in especially for in birds? Fertilization is internal, but development is external. Fertilization occurs male and female. Eggs are fission. Male and female gametes are inside the body, but development occurs in outside the body. Egg to baby. Okay, so that especially fertilization is internal and development is outside the body. Okay, here some more important points, especially for most of largest bird is Snuthiocamolis, ostrich. Snuthiocamolis, largest bird in the world. Smallest bird we know hummingbird. What we call hummingbird, which is flying in backward also. That is very, very important word. Actually, all birds are moving forward only. But only one bird, it is moving backside also. It is moving backward also. That bird is hummingbird, which is the smallest bird. Smallest bird is hummingbird. Largest bird is what? Especially for Snuthio cambolis, or nothing but we can call ostrich. Okay, that is what especially for. And we will observe in special characteristics of bird. And one more special characteristics in bird we will observe. Birds are showing parental care. What is the meaning of parental care? Why other organisms are not showing? Okay, just think about amphibians. Amphibians more laying more eggs, fertilization is outside. They are not taking care about their babies. No parental care. Amphibian. Fishes, no parental care. Amphibian, fishes, no parental care. Reptiles, crocodiles taking parental care, lot of parental care. Even even tortoise is also taking care. And some type of snakes, some are not taking care. Parental care showing some organism. In reptiles, some are not showing. In birds, all are showing what? Parental care. Okay, so that parental care is the special feature of what? Birds, like mammals. Okay, these are the special characteristics of birds. Okay.